So it's inspection time at this one particular rental property, and I'm trying to get it done really lickety split. The tenant is somewhat behind on their rent, but luckily the city has a program that will help out tenants who are delinquent on their rent, and it's actually a government-funded program. So I'm trying to get this thing up to snuff for inspection. It's been about 2 years since I actually touched it, and one of the things I have to do right there, you can see there's some paint chipping. So in Baltimore, if you've got paint chipping on your house, anywhere, inside or outside, it's probably going to fail the inspection just because of that, because there's so much lead, like right there, all that chipping paint is probably lead, in the city in all the old houses. So this is actually a pretty decent rental property. There's some boards on the windows, and they were there when the tenant moved in. I just decided not to take them off. And this neighborhood is actually coming up pretty nicely. When I bought this property about 5 or 6 years ago, none of these houses that you see right here were actually renovated. They were, for the most part, probably half of them were derelict, just abandoned. And especially this group of 3 houses right here, 4 houses, these were all redone. And you can see the houses up here, especially that one with the blue, that one's in really sad shape. That got redone, and you can see these other ones getting redone. And perhaps really interestingly is this old factory right here. This used to be a blind factory for windows. And so it looks like they've actually reshaped the roof and put on a new shingled roof. You can see right there. So that's actually really good news for the neighborhood. And they're probably going to get this front part, the entrance, done as well. I wonder if they'll make it into some kind of either property apartments or maybe a new kind of office complex. So I made this video just to tell kind of an interesting story for any potential landlords in Baltimore. So this house right here, which is looking really good, is actually right next to my rental. And I actually got a letter from the owner of this property probably like 5 or 6 months ago. And in the letter he said that his basement was leaking and that he felt it was my fault, but that he was willing to make amends if I would sell my rental property to him. And he thought it would make good sense because he said the local neighborhood association was about to turn me in for lack of permits and lack of property certification, and he also said that he thought the Baltimore City was going to bring me to court for not paying my taxes. Of course, neither of one of those things are true, and I called him up and called him out on both of those things and asked him how he knew about them, and he said he actually didn't know and that his assistant wrote the letter to me, but he still wanted to buy my house if I would give him the pictures on the inside. And I said no, I wasn't really interested in selling. And then I asked him, I said, do you think the reason that your basement is leaking is because you have a giant hole in your backyard that's possibly seeping right into the window? At which point he admitted that might be the case. So if you're a potential landlord or landlord in Baltimore, don't let other landlords intimidate you. Half the time they're just full of shit.